Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. It really means a lot to me. Listen, I got a request to help on white paper, I believe. And then stay tuned for Latinos in Clinical Research releasing a white paper soon too. But on what community sites, because the whole push for the industry to get more diverse patients into studies is a necessity. No one is arguing that anywhere. But it boils down to sites. We need more community sites, bottom line. And I have this prediction that in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to double the amount of physicians participating in research, hopefully. But sponsors have to do a lot of things the right way for that to happen. They've got to make investments in the communities. They've got to invest in things such as building infrastructure, training potential coordinators, partnering with organizations like Latinos in Clinical Research and our educational programs that we can train investigators and sites. We actually have a site owner academy. But what can small sites do? What can small sites do to get more recognition and to show sponsors that, hey, we're small. Yuma Clinical Trials is a perfect example. We're small, but we can make a big dent in your recruitment and in your diversity needs. Because if more sites like Yuma Clinical Trials pop up and start doing good work and start coming through on their recruitment and their retention and all the good stuff sponsors want to see, sponsors will keep investing in repeating this model because they need it. They have no choice. There's no other way to get diversity in the studies. So what can sites do? There's a couple things. Number one, every private practice is flooded with pharmaceutical sales reps, to the point where some doctors I know are actually, it's comical almost how often sales reps come in. Someone from the site should reach out to those sales reps and say, hey, please connect me with your medical science liaisons. I actually think medical science liaisons are the unlock. They are the bridge between research and sales. I think that is the most underutilized resource that sponsors have. And if sponsors are not going to use them properly, us as sites should use them properly. I've only had positive interactions with my medical site liaisons for my PIs, plural, associated private practices. I'm in talks right now with 3 big pharma on studies in the next 6 months and even more in the next 12 months. Because I did this, I reached out to my sales reps. I got a hold of who the medical science liaison was, planted seeds, got some studies, planted more seeds, got more studies. One of the MSLs moved to another big pharma. They reached out to me out of the blue. They said, hey, Dan, I remember working with your site. Do you guys actually do anything for this indication? I am now with company XYZ, another big pharma. I said, of course. That's one example of one medical science liaison that got me multiple studies. And who knows how many more future potential studies. I don't think enough sites do this. That's one thing sites need to do. The other thing sites need to do, in my opinion, is invest in community outreach initiatives. And I know sites are going to complain, well, we ask for those funds in our budgets and we don't get paid. Well, the reason why sponsors are hesitant to pay you guys, and myself included, is because they know where are those dollars actually going to go. They're not only going to go for their study, right? They're going to go for all the other sponsor studies. Like, how many trials do you have? They know that when you go out in the community, it's not just for their study, it's for everyone else's. So I think the solution to this, asking for less, but asking it being uniform across the board. And they may not all do it, but the ones that do, and I know who they are. We'll go back to do more studies with those sponsors in the future. Because one of the things, us as sites, we look at sponsors as our assets, right? Sponsors, our relationship with a sponsor is an asset. Sponsors look at sites as assets or liabilities, depending on how you produce for them. So, as long as you show that you are an asset to that sponsor, they are going to keep giving you what you ask for within reason. Now actually have a plan, and actually here's a concept to go out and actually do what you say you're going to do. If you say, hey, I need $4,000 because I'm going to go out in the community and raise awareness among the local Native American tribes in my community, then actually go out and do that, right? Produce something. For $4,000, $5,000, even one randomization is a huge victory. Even a few screen failures might be a huge victory, you can argue. They just want to see something there. As long as you're an asset, so you got to demonstrate first. The proof is in the pudding. You got to demonstrate first that you are worthy of being called an asset to that sponsor. So that's number 2, is a good community outreach. I would also supplement a lot of your day-to-day, and you as a site pay for it, doing digital media in your community. Yuma Clinical Trials, this is something I want to discuss at Save Our Sites conference next year in Oklahoma City in March 2025. We interview local business owners from the community, like real people in the community that are connected to. Remember, what is a business owner? They serve customers also. Who are those customers? Potential patients. We've interviewed restaurant owners, coffee shop owners, nail salon owners. The list goes on. We don't get any immediate benefit out of this other than having a good brand. But in the long run, it does work. Patients do eventually find these evergreen content. You are establishing relationships in the community with community icons, in a sense. Like if you get a popular restaurant owner on your podcast as a site in your community, that is not just one person you're talking to. That is somebody who has influence. He or she is a micro-influencer in your community. And you're doing them a favor by promoting their business. In return, reciprocity is they would send you their clients. Hey, I met Dan. He interviewed me. Here's my podcast with him. By the way, he does studies, so go check him out and ask him more about it. Most sites are not putting in this work because they don't see immediate ROI. And then they try to ask sponsors for budget for this stuff. We'll ask sponsors for budgets, but not until we've proven that we're an asset. So that's another thing sites can do. So leverage the medical science liaisons and the pharmaceutical reps. Demonstrate that you are an asset to these sponsors by focusing on your quality of your data, but also focusing on your recruitment and retention numbers. And build brand, build your roots in the community. Those are 3 simple things any site can do. Simple but not easy. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know your thoughts on this. Bye-bye.